Hello, what's going on, everyone? 5 o'clock, right on the dot. Hopefully, everyone's having a wonderful day. Let's see here. So, topic of discussion was the why I switched from the Toyo Mud Terrains to the now I'm using. Let's see here, the General Grabber ATXs. I don't know if I'm a White Claw fan yet. I don't know. It's my second one, so they're okay. But so back to the topic of discussion. So the Toyo Open Country Mud Terrains, I figured out were a very heavy tire. So there's, and like anything else, I believe there's pros and cons, right? So Toyo Open Country, let's talk about the pros. Pros, off-roading, it was an incredible tire. Super grippy. Mud was never a problem with that tire, and it worked outstanding. So, yeah, really good all around. Sand was really good. Mud was really good. Rocky terrain was really good as well. But the cons, and this was a 35. The Toyo Open Country Mud Terrain, I found out, weighed 80 pounds. So very heavy. And that's a lot. That's a big difference. When I went from a Nito Terra grappler that I was using before that weighed, those were at same size tire, 57 pounds for a Nito Terra grappler. And the other thing about the Toyo Open Country Mud Terrains was the price. Holy crap, those tires were incredibly expensive. I think everything out the door, 4 tires, and I did an alignment, was like $1,400 or something like that. So pretty expensive right out the get-go. And if I remember correctly, then I don't think they came with a mileage warranty or anything like that. So coming back to the mud terrains, the problem though was before with the Nito Terra grapplers, I was averaging about, I think, 350 miles for my fuel range. Typically what I do is I'd fill up the truck, go down to a quarter tank, and then fill it back up. I usually don't go below a quarter tank just because I like to have a little bit extra fuel, just in case. Now, the problem was when I put the Toyo Mud Terrains on, my mileage, my fuel range, that was 350 to 200. So yeah, I can only drive 200 miles and then have to refill. So that's a lot of refilling, especially when, as I'm sure you guys know, especially when we're doing most of our trips, is that we typically will go at least 2,000-3,000 miles on a trip, give or take. Next trip we're planning on doing is probably going to be about 5,000. So yeah, that really was not going to work, having to fill up every 200 miles. So the other, what we ended up going was with the General Grabber ATXs. So I actually went down a size of a tire too. General Grabber ATXs were I went to a 32-inch tire, so smaller, and then these tires are 60 pounds. So that's 60 pounds. So do we do the math here, right? So General Grabber ATXs, 60 pounds. The Toyo Open Country Mud Terrains, those were 80 pounds. So we're talking about a 20-pound difference in your tires. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but you got to figure we got to times this by 5 if you have a spare tire, full-size spare tire. So 4 tires, obviously, for our vehicles, and then spare. So you're talking about 100 pounds, 100-pound difference. Now, 20 pounds is also a lot when it comes to, I found out, on your vehicle. The other thing I started to notice as well was the tires were also wearing out the truck suspension and steering components and everything else like that, because that's a lot of extra weight that truck has to move around for stock components. Now, so I believe that's probably a great factor in why I've been probably going through inner and outer tie rods so much. I've had to replace those, I think, every 2 years. Off-roading as well probably doesn't help. I don't know if I like these pure hard seltzer white claw things. It tastes pretty good. I don't know. It's not a fan. I don't know. But anyway, so, and I looked at a couple different tires. So we're gonna bring up some tire weights, right? So Toyo MTs 35s were 81 pounds. I looked at some Falcon Wild Peaks AT3s, right? 33-inch tires. Those were going to be about 60 pounds. Price about $192 each. 50,000-mile warranty. I haven't tried those yet. I noticed that there's a few people on YouTube and Instagram. They're kind of getting popular. I talked to one source from them about them because those were one of the other alternatives that I thought about using. But they were saying that apparently the Wild Peaks don't last very long as far as mileage. So I haven't tried these myself yet, so I can't exactly say how long they last for. I usually try not to give assumptions on a product unless I've specifically tried it myself. But that was the rumor has it with those ones. The Neo Terra grapplers, coming over to those. Those would be 315, so 35-inch tires, about 57 pounds. Those are about $192 each. So the Nitos, I've actually used the Nitos. The Nitos I really liked. Pros and cons of the Nitos. Let's see here. Their sidewalls were really great. Like I had a nail go through one of my sidewalls, and it was at the time I didn't have a full-size spare tire. That was back in my early days of off-roading. Now I have to carry a full-size spare for exactly that reason. You're not supposed to do this, but I had to do it because I was in the middle of nowhere. Put a plug in the sidewall, I was able to get out, and that tire was able to hold together really nicely. As soon as I got back into town, I had it replaced, and I was all good to go. Really, really awesome tire. Lasted for, I think I got about 30,000 out of that tire. So pretty decent amount of life out of it. I don't know. So the other thing is too, is with these general grabbers, I was told that I'd probably get a little bit more life out of that. So that was one of the contributing factors of going to the general grabbers. So yeah, but as far as the Nitos, they're an all-terrain tire. What they didn't do very good on was mud. Mud they get really, really slicky on. And I was with air down when I talked to Toyo, and it was in 4-wheel drive, and those things do not like mud at all. They basically just become giant donuts, which, it's all-terrain tires, so it's kind of what I expected. Those tires, I would use them in the snow and ice. Didn't work very good out in snow and ice, at least not for me. The Toyo Open Country AT2s. That was another option I was looking at. Those guys, I messed around with them. I've heard some pretty good things about them, but not really sure. I'd like to maybe try the Toyo Open Country AT2s. I've heard they're really nice, and they're a heck of a lot lighter than the Toyo Mud Terrains. So this was a 285 75 R16, 53 pounds for the Toyo Open Country AT2s. So yeah, those would be a tire I'd be very curious to try out. I've only met a couple people that have tried them, so I'm very curious to see how those would last. Another option I considered that I have used before was the BF Goodwrench AT2s. Now is what they're referred to as. When I had them, they were just the all-terrains. Last set I had. Let's see here. I did try out the AT2s, and same thing with that tire. I think I only got like 30,000 out of those tires. They did not last very long at all. So yeah, and the other thing with the BFGs is they are really expensive. Like the BFGs, even a 285, like a 32-inch tire was like, I think it was like $250 a tire, which is ridiculous. The Cooper, another option was the Cooper Discoverers AT3s. I haven't tried those either, but somebody did recommend me to try the Cooper Discoverers. I didn't even know Cooper Discover AT3s. I didn't even know they made an all-terrain tire. I'd never heard of their all-terrain tire. So if anybody out there is familiar with their all-terrains, I'd be very curious to see how you like them. Those were actually 54 pounds, so not bad at all. And then we come to what I have now. I settled on the General Grabber ATXs. Did a 32-inch tire, and then also did a spare that was a 33 as well. Now, why did I settle on a 33? Well, after looking at how Nicole and I travel and everything like that, it was kind of seeming more and more like a really good option. We typically, especially when we're doing our long trips, we're driving very long distances. And the more I was thinking about it, it's like, you know what, it makes a lot more sense to have a little bit of a smaller tire. That way you can just get a little bit of better fuel range. And the other thing is too, is when we're in like Washington or Oregon or something like that, I am not off-roading the truck as hard as if I was just like right down here at the street in like Ocotillo or something like that. As we get further away, I instinctively, I guess, become a little bit easier and easier on the truck because we're so far away from home. So yeah, that was the other thing, was the weight. And I think after today, I kind of messed around with them in the mud a little bit today, the General Grabber. So far, I'm liking them. It's kind of funny. The Grabbers actually have a very similar tread pattern to the BFGs. So I'm very curious to see how long they are going to last for. It's kind of too early to tell. I got to test them out in some different terrains and kind of see how they work and everything like that. But I think I'm going to like them. I think they're going to be a good tire. Well, I'm definitely going to be able to test them and get some use out of them too. So really looking forward to that. Let's see here. But yeah. Supposedly, what someone was telling me is I should be able to get like 50,000 miles out of these Grabbers. So looking forward to seeing if that's going to hold true. But yep, that's pretty much it for today's live video. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to message me. Again, I'm appreciating all the comments and everything like that. Also set up a Amazon storefront. A lot of people, again, have been asking us what kind of products we're using in the truck and stuff like that, as far as like camping, cooking wear, and some stuff we're still kind of going through, figuring out what's good, what's not good. Yeah, so I set up an Amazon storefront. If you guys want to check out some cool stuff for your vehicles, like camping stuff, equipment, all that, you guys can head on over to my Instagram page. It's Klein Time Photography, and then you click on the link tree. The Linktree URL thingy-majigger, and that takes you to the Amazon storefront. And then I have pretty much everything on there. I've been kind of just building it and bullying it over the last couple weeks. Still pretty new to it. Have all the electronic stuff, which a lot of people are interested in, for like a dual battery system, the Blue Seas products that we use. Let's see what else. Camping stuff as far as like our chairs, the deck system, camping pads we use, just like a little miscellaneous stuff like there. Check it out if you guys like. There might be just some cool little knickknacks and stuff in there that you guys might not have thought of or anything like that. But anyways, I will see you guys next time. Take care and have a good time. Peace.